In the beginning, before time had a name, the earth was young. Rivers had no names. The sky was new. The sun had just begun his journey across the void. And from the breath of creation, from the very first breath of life, came the very first woman. Some called her Eve, the mother of all who would walk the earth, drawn from Adam's side in the garden, the keeper of Eden, the first to taste the fruit of knowledge, the first to feel the pain of loss. And her story echoed through the ages, whispered from mother to daughter, under the soft glow of the evening star, promising a world where good was sweet and evil was unknown, where the only tears were tears of joy, and every tomorrow was a promise of sunshine. Others whispered of Lilith, formed from the same clay as Adam, a spirit of freedom, a wild heart that refused to be tamed. She wandered the wilderness, a lone wolf under the pale light of the moon, a rebel soul who danced with the shadows, untamed and unafraid. And her story, it was a different tune, a melody of defiance, sung in the silent hours, when the moon was high and the world was asleep. A story of courage, of a love that dared to be free, a rebellion against the chains of convention. But beyond names, beyond stories, she was more than myth. She was real as the sunrise, as real as the tears that fell from a mother's eyes, as real as the love that bloomed in a maiden's heart. She was the first to wonder, the first to question, the first to dream. She was the first to sing the song of longing, and the first to weep the lonely tears of a world that didn't understand. She carried the first child, the first heartbeat within her, a tiny flutter that echoed the rhythm of creation, the first love, the first touch, the first kiss under the canopy of stars, a love as old as time, as eternal as the moon in the sky. And when the child arrived, she sang the first lullaby, a melody of hope, a prayer for a world that was yet to be. And she felt the first grief, too, the first tear that fell from a mother's eye, a pain so deep it echoed the sorrow of a shattered world, a world that had known only innocence until that moment. But through the tears, through the pain, she found strength, the strength of resilience, the strength of a mother's love, a love that could mend a broken heart and carry her through the darkest night. For she was the first to love, the first to lose, the first to hope, the first to dream, the first to touch the face of eternity and find the echo of her own mortality there. They called her Eve, the mother of us all, or Lilith, the spirit of freedom, the shadow in the wilderness. But her story, it wasn't just a whisper in the wind. It was the very essence of existence, the melody that resonated in every human heart, the longing for paradise, the struggle for freedom, the pain of loss, and the enduring power of love. She was the beginning of everything, the first to feel the warmth of the sun on her skin, the first to gaze at the stars and wonder, the first to laugh, the first to cry. She was the beginning of love, of memory, and of destiny. Do you remember the first time you heard her story? Did the world seem a little less mysterious, a little less daunting, a little more beautiful because of it? Or maybe you never heard her name, but you felt her presence in the hush of the evening, in the dance of the firelight, in the whisper of the leaves. Maybe you felt her spirit in your own heart, the wild, untamed part that yearned for freedom, for love, for a connection to something greater than itself. And if you never heard her story, then let me tell you now, the first woman was not just a myth, a legend, or a story from long ago. She was real. She was us. And her story, well, that's still being written. Every day we have the opportunity to write our own stories, to shape our own destinies, to be the heroes of our own tales. Just like the first woman, we have the power to create, to love, to dream, and most importantly, to choose.